Welcome to this siding installation video. Here you will learn about the steps to installing sheet siding on a lean-to shed. Sheet siding is the easiest way to provide exterior protection to your shed. It comes in 4x8 sheets and several different styles depending on the manufacturer. It is attached to the shed using 8D galvanized nails so they do not rust. The first step to installing the siding is to determine how tall the sheets need to be. You will want the top of the sheets to start at 1/2 inch below the top of the wall. The bottom edges of the sheet should extend at least 1 1/2 inches below the bottom plate of the wall framing. On the lean-to shed, you will leave the top of the sheet long and cut it off after the roof framing is installed. Mark the line where the bottom edge of the siding will be and install at least two 12D nails on the line under each sheet location to temporarily hold the sheets while you install them. The 1/2 inch reveal at the top keeps the siding out of the way of the rafter seat and bird's mouth. The bottom overlap keeps the water from running down the shed wall and onto the shed floor. The second step is to attach the first piece of siding. The first piece of siding on each of the walls is the most important because it makes the wall square and locks the wall in place. Start by making sure that the sheet is oriented so the edge overlaps of each successive sheet will be on top of the previous sheet. Set the sheet on the temporary nails. Move the siding board until the edge of the siding is flush with the corner of the shed and install one nail to attach the lower corner edge of the sheet to the corner wall framing board. Push or pull the wall until the edge of the siding is flush with the corner and install a second nail to attach the upper edge of the sheet to the corner wall framing board. The third nail will lock the wall in a square position as long as the edges of the siding are parallel to the respective wall studs behind the siding. Before installing the third nail, you must move the wall top plates back and forth until the top edge of the siding is parallel to the top plates and the unattached vertical edge is parallel to the wall stud it overlaps. After the siding is attached in 3 points, you can install the remaining nails around the edges at 6 inches on center. If you are siding a longer wall, you do not need to nail the edge that the second sheet will overlap, because you will nail on top of the overlap when the second sheet is installed. Use a tape measure to locate the boards behind the center of the sheet and mark their locations so you can install nails without missing the boards. Install the nails on the center of the sheet at 12 inches on center. The third step is to install the remaining sheets. On longer walls, you will square the wall with the first sheet as described in step 2, and then install the second sheet so that it overlaps the first sheet on the wall stud that both sheets share. The second sheet is installed similar to the first sheet, but you will not need to square the wall because it will no longer move laterally. This wall has a window opening. If you are installing a window opening, do not try to nail around the edges of the opening. The nail heads may interfere with the cutting of the siding material. We will show you how to cut out the window opening in the last step. Continue installing siding sheets around the shed. Make sure that you start and align each new wall corner like you did the first corner. The upper edges of the siding will need to be trimmed to 1/2 inch below the top plates on the tall and short walls. The siding on the sloping walls of the shed will be cut after the roof is framed. The fourth step is to install siding around the door opening. The home-built door openings on our sheds are designed with a 1-inch reveal to allow the door to overlap the opening. If you are installing a pre-hung door, you will install the siding to the edge of the door opening. To install the siding to fit a home-built door with a 3/4 inch overlap, measure away from the door opening 1 inch and place a mark around the opening. Double check that the distance between the marks on the left and right sides match the dimensions on the door plans. Cut and install the siding around the door. Make sure that the wall is square using the same 3-nail technique used to attach the first sheets on the other walls. To finish the door opening, you will use a hand saw or reciprocating saw to remove the wall bottom plate in the opening. To cut the siding away from a window opening, you will install the siding on one side of the opening and then use a tape measure and measure from the back edge of the siding to the rough frame sides of the window opening. Transfer the measurements to the outside face of the siding. Then use the measurement marks to make cut lines on the face of the siding. If enough of the header and sill are visible, you can align a straight edge with them on the visible side of the window and overlap the straight edge on the face of the siding on the part of the window that is covered. Then mark along the straight edge to show the location of the window opening. When you are done, you should have a drawing of the window opening on the face of the siding. Set a circular saw to the depth of the siding thickness and cut along the window opening cut lines. It helps to cut on the outside of the lines to be sure that you remove any siding that might overlap into the window opening. After the siding is cut away from the window opening, you will install nails around the opening. Now you are ready to install the siding sheet on the other side of the window opening. After the siding is installed, you will repeat the process to remove the siding material on the second half of the window opening. If the siding covers the whole window opening, you can roughly locate the opening and cut a 12-inch square hole in the center of the opening. Then put a tape measure through the hole and measure and transfer the location of the wall framing to the face of the siding as described earlier. Continue learning about shed building by clicking on one of these videos. Thanks for watching.